Okay, so to some of my viewers and as well as Senpai's viewers out there, if there's anybody out there that was wondering exactly what Senpai looks like out of her suit, well, now is your chance to see exactly who is behind that suit. You may enter whenever you're ready.
Hi, melon drops and fluff butts.
See ya!
What's going on, my fellow fuzz butts? Zaba the Circle here, and we're coming back with another video just to educate my people. And we got special guest Daddy Senpai here on the channel.
I'm a really special guest at this point because I'm like in every other video.
Listen, it is okay. And yes, we are out of suit, and that is going to bring us to another very, very, very important topic, which is something that a lot of people in our fandom seem to, I guess, believe. And that is the fact that a lot of people think that if you don't have a fursuit, then you can't consider yourself a furry. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The reason why I say these things is because when it comes to a lot of fandoms, there's a certain criteria that you have to go by. But when it comes to the furry fandom, it's more of a generalization. So it's hard to even consider furry a fandom because, you know, like I said, the criteria of a fandom, you have to meet certain specifications. But when it comes to furry, there's so many different aspects and branches off from the furry concept. So trying to say that just one of them defines the entire fandom, that's a very, very, very wrong thing to do. Is there anything you'd like to add on this? You know,
Just keep going. I'll jump in eventually. I'm just listening, taking in what you're saying.
That's all right, because like I say, we all know that, you know, our fandom does have a lot of parts. There is the fursuiting does play a very big part, and it's a very forefront part of our fandom. Just as big as the art is, though I think that art might be a little bit bigger than fursuiting because there is a lot of artists that don't fursuit. So the art and the fursuiting are two of the main concepts of our fandom, but you don't have to partake in either one of those to consider yourself a furry. Of course, as I said years and years and years and years and years ago, if you consider it, it is. Like, that's the long and short of it. Like, if you consider yourself a furry, then bada bing, bada boom, you're a furry.
Uncle doesn't have a suit, does he?
No.
I mean, look at him. He's like the biggest, most popular furry in the fandom, and he doesn't even own a suit. So that's saying something. And then, I mean, that 2 Griffin guy who I've never even heard of until that crap with Anthrocon, he was apparently very popular also, and he doesn't have a suit. So you don't need a suit to be popular in the fandom. I mean, yeah, no one even knew who I was until I started doing YouTube, so it's not necessarily you need a suit as much as you need to reach out to the people of the fandom, not just stay in your little shell like most of us do when we don't have a suit. Like, I think if I didn't ever get my suit, I probably wouldn't talk to him because I was too shy in person. Because when I'm in my suit, I talk to everyone. So it was more of a comfort thing because I could hide behind a different personality. But now he knows me out of suit, and now I'm comfortable enough with him to like talk to him without being in suit. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're twinning.
Yeah, I gave her just a little splish splash of the Zabu, the circle, die.
Well, like I was doing red before you were born.
Really? Yeah, youngin'. But anyway.
Ain't that young. I'm legal.
Getting back onto the topic at hand, like we said, you don't need a fursuit in order to consider yourself a furry. I say, you want to be a furry? Boom, you're there. If not, that's okay too, because you can draw furry art, you can even own a fursuit and still not consider yourself a furry, because it's all in what you say for yourself.
Well, technically, you don't even need a persona to be a furry. as long as you have an interest in anthropomorphic animals and you consider yourself a part of the fandom, you're part of the fandom regardless of what other people have to say about it.
That is the long, short, and the thick and thin of the situation.
Like, there's been many people that have messaged me like, I want to be a furry, but I don't know how to make a character and I can't afford to buy a character. And I'm just like, you don't need a character. As long as you enjoy what's going on in the fandom, you're part of the fandom. You don't need a character, you don't need a fursuit, you don't even need to be able to do art. As long as you enjoy it, regardless of what you're doing in it, you're part of it.
Right, and within the fandom, we enjoy the die-hard furries just as much as we enjoy the casuals, because we all play a part in the same pool. It's like, not everybody has to have a fursuit, not everybody has to be a super amazing artist. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You don't need any specifics. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not required, because in the furry fandom, there are no requirements. Like, if you, like I say, you can't rep the Doctor Who fandom and you don't know who all these doctors is and all that, because then...
I've never watched Doctor Who.
Yeah, I've only watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
I've never watched any.
And that's like one of the, like that's an example of a fandom that you can't say that you're a part of, because if somebody calls you out on your stuff and you don't know what you're talking about, then they're going to be like, oh, see, you're a poser and all that stuff. But in the furry fandom, there is no calling out, there is no posers, none of that, because the fandom is big, but it's also very small. Like, it's a very close-knit fandom, because like the poppy furs and stuff that I'm into may not be the same ones that she's into.
Probably not.
But that is on a whole nother set and another station, and we won't get into that right now.
Actually, there might be a video in the future that I'm going to try to collab with Zabu on. It's who are your favorite poppy furs. So check out my channel at Daddy Senpai AF and go on over there, and that video will be up eventually. Don't know when, but it will.
Like how you plugged yourself on my video. But and I was going to do that anyway, but she just kind of beat me to it or whatever.
I felt like it.
But I guess for right now, we're going to go ahead and close this. I know I'm very animated when I'm out of suit. I'm animated when I'm in suit.
I'm more animated in suit. I'm like a statue out of suit. Because I'm ridiculously awkward out of suit.
No.
You remember what it was like the first time I talked to you out of suit. You didn't even know who I was at first.
I really didn't, because... Okay, that's a whole... We gotta close this, because that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about. Because I do need to talk about that video as well, like the FWA experience or whatever. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and close this. Follow Senpai on all her social media. They're gonna be down there in the dibbly below, as well as on the screen. I'm gonna pop it up like once or twice and whatever. Anyway, but as always, my name is Abel Sergo along with Daddy Senpai, and we're out of here. Blah, 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 blah.